Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So why are we in World Chat? Well, a couple things to update today. First, we're going to go over VIP ratings are showing in the new update. So you got to go turn that off. And then we're going to look at sub general debuffs with civilization gear. I recently made some changes, wanted to go over that. My thinking, my thought process. Let's get into the VIP where it is. So if we go here, we go into options. And right here, VIP level settings. It was turned on for everyone after the update. So kind of funny in World Chat. Got to see some people's VIPs, and some were surprising. Both good and bad. Anyways, let's get to the sub gears. So first thing, there's so many factors, right? Like what your Civ treasures are, who your sub generals are they ascended, different stuff like that, how many subs you have, your art treasures, so many different factors. But all you could do is control and be the best you can, right? And think about what you're aiming to do. So for me, and I'm not going to have you're not going to have the same thought process as me. Not many are. I basically try and debuff everything, which means I got some holes that I'm not debuffing that well. So we played Oversoul the other day, and he's a very good player, good alliance. And anyways, they set a siege rally on me. Let's see my debuffs. So what you should think of with your debuffs is one of two things, basically. Either you're a small player and you ghost and you want to debuff what you're attacking, aka you send archers, you want to debuff horse HP, maybe a bit of ground. That's kind of what your debuffs are going to be about. If you're a defensive player, or just most players who are going to sit and rally with their team, you want to debuff the first attack that's going to come and get you. Because the second attack, the third attack, you're dead anyways. So for me, my two biggest things to debuff are going to be siege and range attack. Now, siege attack is easy to debuff, as you can see. I debuffed this whole thing, 1422, but I came nowhere near his defense and HP. So that's something I got to work on. Look at what I have done with my subs. So I have 11 subs to start. Holding one American there as I just continue to do science. Let's look at the actual generals involved here. And first thing you should do when you make a decision here, there's lots of good civilization gear you can use to debuff, okay? Up to you which ones you want to use, which ones you want to prioritize. I'm just going to go through my thinking and my thought process. I can't tell you what to use because, like I said, everyone has different goals. But the first thing you should think about is if you have 6 out of 6 Achaemenid gear, you get this minus 15% attack debuff. So you're going to debuff every attack by 15%. So if you're going to remove one piece of gear here, like look, if I change that to a fearless, I no longer get that. I just lost 15%. So you have to keep that into account. Which one did I take off? If there's a courageous down there, yeah, it would have been a courageous. So if there is, because courageous has the archer debuff. So if there is a piece you're going to take off, you have to keep into account you're losing 15%. Right? So is that worth it? Because 15% siege don't matter. 15% of the other 3 does matter if that's the first attack coming onto you. So don't break that on too many of your generals. So pile on your Civ gear or your Ares chest piece on the generals that already broke that 6 out of 6. And I'm going to show you, I don't have too many that I broke it on because it's important. So right here, I have an Augustus helmet crown, which gives really good debuffs. Ground troop HP isn't too important, but ground troop and mounted troop defense is a very good debuff. So is enemy ground attack. Here, range defense, range attack, and range and siege HP are all really good ones to debuff. Maybe not all the most important, but they're really good. So now that I've broken that 15%, realistically, what did I lose against archer attack versus what I gained? Because that's really what this goal was here, to make this change to these 3 new pieces. I lost 15% range attack defense debuff, but I gained here 25, 0. Then I put this one on and gained 30, so I'm at 55. And then 65 because the Augustus 2-piece buff. So if you have 2 or 4 Augustus pieces, do them on 2 separate generals. So you get that 10% buff. It almost, it's not quite the 15 Achaemenid gear, but it makes it worth it. It makes it, more tolerable when you remove the 6 out of 6. And if you have 6 out of 6 Augustus gear, you aren't listening to this video. So it doesn't matter. You will put them on 3 different generals. Now, this Ares piece, this Fearless Ares piece is a really good piece to put on. Range attack, 30%, very good. Now, if you're just going to put that on this general, like let's say I break up the 6 out of 6, and then I lose this mounted troop defense and siege attack to gain only 15%, is it worth it? I don't know. Mounted troop defense is a big one to debuff as well. It could be worth it if you're a purely defensive player and people are coming at you with range attack. It could be. Like if I look at this, I may have to rethink this. I'm waiting on materials. I've only just done this now because I was so hell-bent on completing the 6 dragons at level 15 and just feeding and getting my dragons up. I know it's just a tiny buff, but it looks cool. And not many things in this game make me happy nowadays, so wanted to do that. But if I was going to do this, so let's go through the rest of my generals, and then we'll look at what I would gain by changing and putting Fearless Ares armor on all my generals. I might gain like an extra 100%. It might be worth it. But the problem is it's going to take badges for me to do that, and Evony has made badges important again now. Got to use them to talent up your dragons. So not sure I can do it. So let's keep going on. And you can see I kept so many of them, 6 out of 6. But now here I get to another one, and I broke the 6 out of 6. And I added this piece. So range and siege defense, range and siege attack. So I added 20% range attack. I lost the 15 here. So I did gain 5% on that. And then I added these boots, and they also added 35% siege defense and 35 ground HP, which isn't that important, versus here, siege attack, which is not important because it's really easy to do, and 35% mounted troop attack. No one's really attacking me with mounted troops. If they are, I'm dead anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So it's more important for me to debuff that siege defense. Yeah, I'd like to do more with this general that's already broken. Get some more civ gear on him. Maybe get an Ares chest piece on him. That's something I'm definitely going to be looking at, but the badges is going to be an issue. So I might have to find civ gear that goes on the chest. But the problem is those ones are expensive and better for PvP generals. Now here, I have... So I'll show you actually what I have with him. So right here, I have a Assassinian helmet, range and siege defense, range HP, and then here, siege HP 45%. What do I put on here? So I actually have a really good weapon here that I take off at battlefield. So we'll just take it off right now just to show you guys. And I go down here and throw it on, and it's an extra 30% against right here. So we add that, and we add 30% range and 30% ground troop attack. So that's basically how I did my generals, what my thought process was on them. going through what I said I should be thinking about doing. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we already have that one on. So 10. So if I did 10 more, that would be 300% more range troop attack debuff. But then I would lose, was that 7? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 15, that's 120. So I would gain 180% more range troop attack debuff. So that would bring me up to around 3,000. So you know what? This might be something I really, really have to consider. Now, the problem, which I'm going to show you, so Evony is a game unless you are a multi-millionaire. It is not easy to do everything. So upgrading these, I need these badges. 800 per upgrade. The problem with that is if I go into the dragons and I want to feed them, you can see my shortfall here. I got everything. I got lots of the other stuff. I don't have badges anymore. And there is so many that need upgrading. So gonna have to sit there and think, because 180% more debuff, ooh, that is something I could really like. That would get me very, very high on the archer attack debuff. But the other thing to think about is I really only get archer attack rallied in battlefield once or twice a battle, and I get hit with siege rallies over 10 times. So what is the priority? Strengthening up my dragons or not? That's basically the question for 99.9999% of all of us in Evony. What is the priority? That other 0.0001%, yeah, they can just do it all. But hope you guys can think about what you want to do when you look at that and decide. So always, to recap, always think about what is attacking you first, or what is your main attack on offense, and just throw all your eggs in one basket. If you want to be the jack of all trades, you better have a lot of money or a really, really good alliance that's really fast, really strong. They can reinforce you and that sort of stuff. Know in the comments what you guys have done with Civ gear and mixing up your sub-generals now that we need to debuff such higher attack percentage. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.